guys, what's up? It's Winnie here, and today I have a first impression review and product demo for a brand new foundation that I just received in the mail. It's from Estee Lauder. It's their new Double Wear Nude Cushion Stick Radiant Makeup. I've actually never tried any Estee Lauder foundations or face products before, so I thought it would be a good idea to try this out on camera with you guys and share my thoughts. So this is available at Sephora. It retails for $39.50. You get 0.47 ounces of it, and I believe it's also available wherever they have Estee Lauder products, but they sent this along for me to try out, and they have it in a ton of different shades. I believe it comes in neutral, cool, and warm tones, and I'm not quite sure what shade I am in Estee Lauder foundations, so I'm gonna try out the shade Desert Beige, which is 2N1, which I think is a neutral tone, and this is what the product looks like. It comes in a very sleek gold packaging, kind of looks like a foundation stick. I've heard of cushion foundations and I've tried it out for you guys, and I've heard of stick foundations. Obviously some of my favorites are stick foundations, but this is like a 2-in-1, which I've never really heard of before. It looks like this is the top, but it's actually the bottom part that comes off. There's a little cap that covers the cushion, and it's about the size of a nickel or smaller, but there's a little hole in the center where I assume the product comes out of. The cushion is really soft and squishy, and I think you just twist the bottom. Oh my god. Okay, so obviously the product comes out really easily. You don't need to twist it too much. So that's what came out, and I only made like half a twist. And it says, touch on, buff, and blend to your perfect nude. Double Wear Nude Cushion Stick Radiant Makeup polishes and evens skin tone for a healthy looking glow. So far it sounds like it's supposed to be more of a natural, dewy looking foundation. This skin loving, weightless, and comfortable formula instantly hydrates. It features shades for every skin tone, and the innovative stick combines liquid makeup and applicator in one. So it sounds like it's supposed to be lightweight and hydrating, so I think it might be good for dry combo skin, which is perfect for me because I have dry combo skin. I'm going to zoom you guys in closer so you get a better look at my face. So I have no face makeup on right now. I just have a light layer of moisturizer on my face and no primer. I'm not going to prime my face just to see how the foundation wears on its own. I have some dark circles and redness around my face. My nose is really dry on the sides, and also my skin is really dry around my T-zone. It's just starting to act up from the winter air. So I'm going to go ahead and apply the foundation with this much product on it because that's what came out. And it says here to dot the foundation onto your skin where it's needed, and then buff in with circular motions and just use light strokes to blend. So I'm just gonna go ahead and dot it very carefully on my face. Let me just do this side first so you can compare to the other side. I think this is probably too much, so I'm gonna kind of take some off. It looks like it kind of soaks back into the tip of the sponge though, so let's just start to blend it. You guys, don't even look at my nails because they are so chipped and ratchet right now. I haven't had any time to do anything with them. I don't know if it's the sponge I'm smelling or the foundation. It kind of smells like plastic. Okay. So this blending technique, I feel like, is a little bit difficult. Because the more pressure you put on the tip of the sponge, the product does come out a little bit, so it's not really helping that blend in very well. But if you do it very lightly, kind of using the edges around the sponge and avoiding that center area, it does blend in a little bit better. I do wish that they made the surface of the sponge a little bit bigger because it's kind of tricky to blend with this small sponge. But this is what it looks like with one layer on. I have to say it's pretty light coverage. I can still see a lot of my blemishes kind of peeking through, like my under eyes are still pretty dark, and it honestly doesn't look that much different from this side with no foundation on. So I would definitely need another layer or maybe two. And let's do a second application of this. Okay, that is the second layer, and again, I feel like it doesn't look that much different, and I feel like I want to apply it on this side using my beauty blender because the sponge and the blending that you have to do just isn't doing very much for me, and I feel like the coverage is still the same. I feel like this is a lot of product, and I feel like it's just getting soaked back into the sponge of this. So here's this side with the beauty blender. Okay, already I feel like it's much easier to blend with a beauty blender. And even the coverage is so much better. Look, you can see that the discoloration on this side is covered up. I definitely feel like the beauty blender is the way to go with this product. See, and this is one layer of the foundation on the side blended out with a beauty blender. It looks so much better than the other side. This side just is not very evenly covered, and that probably has a lot to do with the sponge. So I'm going to go ahead and apply another thin layer on this side, and I'm just gonna blend it out with my beauty blender. Okay, I can definitely see blending it out with my beauty blender made a huge difference. The coverage is so much better. It just looks a lot more even. And I also feel like I used way more product using the sponge on this because it just soaked back in. All right, so this is what the foundation looks like all over my face. I feel like it looks pretty even. The coverage, I would say, is light to medium. I feel like a lot of the discoloration has been covered up. My dark circles are kind of peeking through. It does kind of give off a soft, natural looking glow to your skin, and it does feel pretty lightweight on. It's still kind of setting, so I'm gonna give it a moment because it's a little bit tacky. I will put a little bit of concealer on because I feel like it didn't really cover up my dark circles. So I'm gonna give it a moment to set, and then I'll finish up my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, I have my makeup done, but I didn't put on my highlight because I want to show you guys the finish of the foundation now that it has set. So I didn't set any other areas of my face, and I want to say the foundation kind of looks like a semi-matte finish now because it was a little bit more dewy looking before, but I feel like it looks a little bit more matte now, which I don't mind that much because I do have combo skin, but we'll see how that looks later on in the day. And here's how it looks with the highlight on and my makeup is complete. But right now I think it looks really great. The makeup on top of it looks really great, and it still feels really nice and lightweight on my face. So it's 12:30 right now. This is supposed to be an 8-hour wear foundation. I'm gonna check back in a few hours to see how it's looking, and then I'll check back in at the end of the day and give you guys my final thoughts. All right, so it's about 4:15 in the afternoon right now, and I know it looks way different because it got really dark outside and I had to turn on my ring light. So I'm sorry for the lighting change, but I wanted to give you guys a few thoughts on how the foundation is looking right now after about 4 hours of wear. Honestly, I feel like the foundation looks pretty much the same from when I first applied it. I don't see really any splotchiness. It still looks really nice and even. The coverage is still great. The only place that I do notice a little bit of foundation rubbing off is on the sides of my nose because I have wiped my nose. But otherwise, I think the foundation looks perfect, and the makeup on top of it still looks really nice as well. I'm gonna zoom you guys in so you get a better look. And even up close, I feel like the foundation still looks really nice. You can kind of see that my skin is peeking through around the sides of my nose where I said that I wiped off some of the foundation. But on my forehead, my T-zone, it doesn't look overly shiny or anything. And when I first applied the foundation, I did think that it was more of a semi-matte finish because it claimed to be more of a glowy finish foundation. But now I see that there is a little bit of a glow coming through. And that could be because I've had a chance to wear it for a while now, and the oils on my skin are kind of coming through just a little bit. I'm kind of surprised at how little it has changed since I put it on 4 hours ago. Honestly, it looks like I just put it on and it still looks perfect. So we're gonna give it another 4 hours. Okay, so now it is 9:50 p.m. and I've officially had the foundation on my face for almost 10 hours. And this is how it looks without any kind of touch-ups throughout the day. I will say from afar, it still looks really nice. And after 10 hours of wear, I think this looks pretty damn good. And I have my mirror here that I'm gonna be looking at just up close. And I can tell you around my nose is where I notice most of the foundation is kind of missing and splotchy because I've been wiping my nose a lot. So just around here, you can see some redness peeking through. And that's also where my skin is really dry, and also kind of right around my brows on my forehead. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it looks like a little bit red and dry around my nose, and then on my forehead here is where some of that dryness is starting to show, and the foundation is starting to kind of cling to the dry skin right above my brows, and I can see that it looks slightly patchy, but again, it's not too bad at all. I really like the fact that the finish of the foundation has pretty much stayed the same from when I first put it on, and it still feels really nice on my skin. I feel like it was really lightweight and comfortable to wear. I'm also really happy with the shade match. My shade was Desert Beige, and I feel like it really matched me well. It did claim to be more of a radiant, glowy foundation finish, and I don't really feel like it's super glowy. It does look nice and natural, but I feel like it actually has more of a semi-matte finish to it. Like I said, it's kept my T-zone looking pretty shine-free, even though I do get a little bit oily there, and I didn't set the foundation on my face with anything at all, so this is actually the finish of it without any powders or setting spray. So I am impressed with that, and I am super impressed with the wear. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the sponge on here, because I don't think it really does much for blending, and it kind of soaks back into the sponge when you try to blend and apply the product. So I just prefer using my beauty blender to blend out the foundation, because I think it gives it more of an even coverage and it looks a lot better, and you don't have to use as much product as opposed to using the sponge on the actual foundation. I also really like the fact that the foundation shades come in so many different shades, and they come also in neutral, cool, and warm tones. But those are my final thoughts on this, and I hope you guys enjoyed this first impression review and demo for the product. I will put a link down below to where you can find it. Let me know in the comments down below if there are other new products you want me to test out, and don't forget to check out my links for my Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, which are always linked down below, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!